Hey guys and gals, how you doing? CJ here with you. Wanted to make a quick little video on my way to school, and first of all, I am so excited that this is essentially my last week of school. So, yay for me. Anyway, so I found out today, I got official news from my attorney that the bogus and what I would call fraudulent felony charge against me by Almost Park Police Department that they filed solely to try and justify their excessive use of force, at which time they tased me, has been dismissed. The felony has been dismissed due to, of course, lack of evidence, because you need evidence to prove that a crime existed, and you can't charge someone with a crime that never happened. And therefore, my felony charge of, quote, assaulting a peace officer causing bodily injury has been officially dismissed as of today. Well, first of all, it means I get my license back so that I can carry with a government permission slip. But I think what it really means, more importantly, is it puts Almost Park on notice, because if they're lying about this charge, which they did, then they're definitely lying about the still pending misdemeanor charges that they also invented. This entire event was manufactured and orchestrated by the Almost Park Police Department Chief Rene Valenciano. Rene Valenciano is one of the most corrupt police chiefs I've ever dealt with here in Texas. He runs one of the most corrupt police departments I've ever dealt with here in Texas. And I want to tell you something. In Almost Park Police Department, in my mind, there is no such thing as a good cop. And the reason I say that is because Chief Valenciano, Vieras, Ruiz, and none of these other officers who assaulted law-abiding citizens who were doing nothing more than peacefully and lawfully and constitutionally exercising their right to keep and bear arms have not yet been arrested by one of the, quote, good guys in Almost Park Police Department. Therefore, it's without saying that nobody in the Almost Park Police Department is a good cop. Otherwise, they would have already put these guys under arrest, not only for abuse of authority, excessive force, violations of constitutional rights, oppression, abuse of authority under color of law, but also for creating fraudulent documents now, because in creating their information and their complaint to justify charging me with second-degree felony assault of a peace officer, they had to manufacture and fraudulently craft a public government document in order to do something, in order to do so. So I now call on the Almost Park Police Department, someone, if there's a good cop there, arrest Chief Corporal Rene Valenciano, Hector Ruiz, Corporal or Sergeant Vieras, I can't remember, he might have just been a foot soldier, and the other officers that have been involved in arresting me, Jim Everard, Jack Miller, Joanne Ferguson, all the people that Almost Park Police Department has been falsely arresting and creating false charges on. Let me tell you why this is important, folks. That second-degree bogus, fraudulent charge against me of assaulting a peace officer came with a $10,000 bond to be released from jail. I was held against my will in one of the most disgusting detention facilities I've had the misfortune of visiting, and was not able to get released until someone paid $1,000 on my $10,000 bond just on that charge. That's $1,000 I'll never get back. That's a $10,000 bond that I had to put up, and Self-Defense Fund had to put up, just because Chief Corporal Valenciano and his band of merry thugs decided they were going to fraudulently create this charge out of thin air, as if they could click their heels and make it so. And an innocent man sat in prison longer than he had to because we had to pay the ransom before we could get released. So this is good news that that the felony charge was dismissed. I still have 2 pending misdemeanor charges, and Jim still has his misdemeanor charge pending. Both of these are obviously bogus as well. We look forward to having those dismissed. But what's super important is that the felony charge, which is a very serious offense, when a police officer accuses someone of committing a felony, they had better damn well be sure that that's exactly what they did. And Chief Corporal Valenciano knows that that's not what happened, and that's why they kept me and Jim in there for 7 hours in their little cell there in Olmos Park before they transferred us, because it took them 7 hours to get their stories together and create a false document, a false official form, to justify charging me with a bogus and fraudulent felony. So that's good news. We are still fighting. We do still need some help. If you can go to opencarrytexas.org and send a donation. Opencarrytexas.org is helping to fight, not only just fight, but we're going to be launching some lawsuits. We're doing a lot of open records requests, actions, and other issues to try and hold this department accountable. But I just wanted to give you that information, that the felony charge against me for so-called assault on a peace officer causing bodily injury, and I can't wait till we can release the statement, the fraudulent statement that was created to justify that charge, because it's gonna make them look even worse. I did call Chief Corporal Valenciano this morning because I was falsely charged with a felony. My license was revoked from the state where I have my license to carry, and so I called them. I sent them the paperwork that the charge was dismissed so that I could get my license back. And then I called Chief Corporal Valenciano to let him know that the charge was dismissed. And I asked him if I had to return my license. He said he had no statement. I said I wasn't looking for a statement. I just wanted him to give my license back. He didn't say anything but okay. And I said, are you going to send my license back? He said, okay. And then he hung up on me. So Chief Corporal Valenciano still just doesn't get it. He doesn't realize that he's a public servant. He doesn't realize that he's out to get him, his department, and the city in a lot of legal and financial hot water. And no, I am not letting him get away with this. I am not going to let a public official who is in a position of authority that we, the people, have granted to him, to violate his oath, to lie about a law-abiding citizen, to file false and fraudulent charges against him without any sort of response and accountability. So yes, we will be filing a civil lawsuit. This is what we were waiting on. One of the things we were waiting on was getting rid of this felony. And I look forward to seeing Chief Corporal Valenciano in court and taking possession of everything that he owns and giving it to charity. Take care, guys. Love you all. God bless you. Stay safe and stay free.